Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gamer Social Club Party Chat. I am your host, Nathan, the One Hot Dragon, and I am also joined by Fraser, the Horror for Horror, and I am also joined by Commander Buck. How are you guys?
Doing just brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
I love it when somebody calls me right during it.
Oh my gosh, I forgot my coffee. I'm gonna die. This is the Gamer Social Club. It is a place where gamers from all around the world come and share their love for video games together in a positive environment. Our goal is to give gamers a platform to share their experiences, to add to the conversation in the games industry, to give more gamers a sense of community, and to bring a little more happiness into your life. The Gamer Social Club started as a book club, and it is still going strong. Join us now as we are talking about Symphonia, something of the night, I think. And we are also a Canadian website. Gamersocialclub.ca gives you the is built off of 3 pillars. We are just gamers. We are not professionals. We are not journalists. We are just gamers who love games. Our second pillar is to make sure you get the news that you want through a rumor-free filter. None of that bullshit, all right? Grand Theft Auto 6 is not dropping tomorrow. Ignore those rumors. We aren't talking about them. Number 3, we finish our reviews. All of our reviews are, we roll credits, or we make sure to explore every facet of the game before posting a review. And then outside of that, when it comes to the podcast, you can join us here like tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time, every week, or you can check out the Girl Pod that lands on Mondays, or if that's not your cup of tea, you can also check out the news podcast that records on Thursday nights, sometimes goes up on Thursday nights, sometimes gets aired on Fridays. If you are looking for this episode later, want to listen to it on Spotify, you can catch the whole Assassin's Creed the games that made us on Wednesday. We will drop the recorded, edited version of this episode on Thursday. As for now, we're just going to talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing, and then once we have finished talking about that, maybe we'll even talk a little bit about the games we're excited about from Gamescom this week. But by the time we're done with that, we are going to, if you're watching this live, it's going to be, we cut off the recording and we go into that episode. So today we are going to be exploring Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and I am very excited to get into it. So with that being said, Fraser, buddy, I missed you last week.
Yeah, man.
Life hasn't felt right. How are you? What have you been into? What are you gaming?
Dude, yeah, I missed last week too. Every couple of weeks, I run a home espresso class on a Saturday morning, which is what time it is for me now. So what that means is people that own coffee equipment for their home can come in and see me, and we hang out for half a day and use their equipment and try and make awesome coffee using their equipment. It's pretty cool because a lot of people buy really expensive coffee machines and don't know how to use them, and then they sit there and they just go to waste. So it's pretty fun. Last week I had a couple of people in, and we just made some super yummy coffees, and it's really cool like seeing them leave with like a little bit of enthusiasm around their coffee machine again. Because I don't know about you guys, but like I work with coffee all day, every day. The last thing I want to do when I get home is work with more coffee. So my coffee game at home is, while I have all of the fanciest equipment you can dream of, it doesn't, like I don't use it as much as you think I would. So it's really cool kind of living through living through these people. Yeah, loads of fun. So that was my Saturday last week. I wish I could have been here, but you know, these
Shit
things,
happens.
some things are. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, as for gaming, boy, oh boy, I managed to platinum Farming Simulator 22 before it left Game Pass. Pretty mammoth effort. Jumped straight into Farming Simulator 25. The little bit of a disappointment. So I played Farming Simulator 25 on the PC. I bought the special edition that came with all the fun, crazy things. I've got a key that turns on my computer like a tractor. I don't know if you guys... I think I got it just here. Oh, I got to stump like it. So it's this little box, and I can turn my computer on and off like a tractor. So I bought that, played the shit out of that, but now that it's on Game Pass, I thought, do you know what? Got to get those achievements. Got to get those achievements.
Gotta get those.
So
achievements, man.
that's right. Replaying Farming Simulator 25. All the achievements are exactly the same as Farming Simulator 22. Like, exactly the same. So, a little bit of a letdown for that. But it just means I know exactly how to just, kind of rush through it. I don't plan on putting a whole bunch of time into it on Xbox, just because I've put so much time into it on PC. And then also, I've been consumed by Alien Fireteam Elite. I don't know how I slept on that game, but I did. And I am hooked. Absolutely hooked. I think I've maxed 5 of the 7 classes now.
Are you enjoying it more than Killing Floor?
Oh.
Or about just as much?
About just as much,
That's
actually. Awesome. I will say, Nathan, Killing Floor 2, the Extreme Ultimate Super Duper Edition, was on sale on Xbox the other day, so I picked that up for like $5.
Oh, really?
So,
I have it. I have that.
So we can jam some Killing Floor 2.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm down for it.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
No,
amazing.
I missed those 20 wave. I still have not Platinum 3, but it's just the grind. It's the grind to get to level 30 that's killing me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and like you said, now I'm feeling what you were saying in the sense of like people will come in at level 10, not know what they're doing, get killed immediately, then it's up to 3 people, and sometimes even when you got a team full of level 30s who know what they're doing, sometimes the ball still gets fumbled. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, so that's been me. Fireteam Elite, Farming Simulator, and a bit of Helldivers with my boy Steve. I know I said this in the Discord, and I've kind of been saying it all along, like, I've put a bit of time into my PlayStation Helldiver, but the Xbox is calling me.
Yeah.
It is calling me. I put down my Xbox controller to play Helldivers with Steve, and I pick up the PlayStation controller. It feels so weird.
Yeah, it's those analog sticks.
I don't know.
Are you willing to start over? How much time have you put into it already?
So I looked into it. I thought I'd put a lot more into it, but I've actually it's more about the money side of things. So I think I've bought two premium bonds.
Yeah.
And do I want to buy those again? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, it's
only
also
the
the
20
work that goes into it too.
Yeah, I don't think I've put them. I only think I've put about 30 hours into it. I'm not even. I think I'm level 15. But it took me a long time to get to level 15. Like I haven't even unlocked the mech or like any of the cool like backpack stuff.
Yep.
Like it's been quite a time sink to kind of do that. Granted, I haven't played it a lot. But what I have played, I've really, really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait.
So, do you know if, like, the Halo... I assume it's just going to be a premium war bond available to everybody. The Halo ODST is that going to be available
Yeah.
no matter what platform you're on?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that was honestly the only thing. Like, if I had to go to Xbox in order to get the ODST skins, I would legitimately rebuy the game and restart my progress just for those skins and those guns.
It would be silly if that was the case.
Yeah,
Like,
I would think.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you know that the chat? Did you know the chat's disabled for this live stream?
Oh,
No.
Well, mine is anyway.
Let me investigate that.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Jonathan, how are you, my friend? What's been going on with you?
man, I'm doing all right. You know, just dreading the end of the summer, but that's all right. It'll be back next year. So that's
Don't-
fine. It's a man, it is a great time to be a gamer, and it is a terrible time to be a gamer. All right, and I say that because there is so much in the next 8 weeks that is coming out is absolutely incredible. Even if you had infinite fun, man, you don't have infinite time. So
No.
it is a really interesting time. I'm trying to think the last time I kind of felt like this. Maybe when Starfield came out 2 years ago. It was kind of like this, where it's like it's so much coming out, and it's so much that I want to try and I want to play, and you know, like you guys are talking about Helldivers, I'm definitely diving into that. Pun intended.
Absolutely intended.
I really want to buy definitely getting the indie DLC. Shinobi comes out this week. Metal Gear Solid Delta comes out this week. I mean, it's next week.
Did you seen the reviews for that? It's getting some
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah. It's really interesting. I'm gonna like try to do it as quick as I can. I really don't pay attention to like the technical, like digital foundry type videos. It just like I get it, I understand why we have it, but to me, it's just used as console war fodder. So I really don't pay attention to it. But I've seen some really, people been talking about that, and I'm just like, I don't really care. But
Is it fun?
if
That's
you
all I
do,
want to know.
exactly. Like, does it bring back the feeling of that game? That's like one of my favorite games. Like Metal Gear Solid 3 really like put a really good impression on me when I was younger. And to this day, it's one of those games I can remember playing and really being excited about it. And like, yes, Metal Gear games can be very convoluted. The story can be all over the place, but for some reason, I just love them. Like, they definitely go down as one of my favorite series. So, really looking forward to that. As for what I've been playing, I've been stuck on Dead Side. I downloaded, which is a great surprise. I downloaded Rogue Prince of Persia. I'm really excited about playing that. Because it's from the guys who made Dead Cells, and I put a stupid amount of time in the Dead Cells. I absolutely love that game. It's like I think we were on the Discord when we were talking. Somebody was talking about how, or I was somewhere, and somebody was talking about like how they didn't like roguelikes like that, and like Hades didn't really grab them. I was like, man, like you gotta play Dead Cells. Like it is incredible. It's the definition of just one more run. Like I need just one more run. 2 o'clock in the morning doesn't matter. One more run. I think I got. I think I figured out where I messed up at. And it's one of those games where you can play it. It doesn't feel unfair. You know where you screwed up at, and it feels like it rewards you for for getting good, as the kids say. So I'm really looking forward to the Rogue Prince of Persia. I might try to get into some of that tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Amazing. Yeah, that Dead Cells was a lot of fun. Like I'm very much someone who completes one run and I'm like, cool, I finished this game. So, especially with those roguelites like Hades, I finished it once and I'm like, cool, I've finished Hades. So if someone's like, oh, have you played Hades and finished it? Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I
That's
have.
amazing.
I think that counts, though. I think that counts. At least that's the way
Bro.
I felt about Splunky. Like I finished it once. I was like, yes, I did it.
About what? Sorry,
Splunky.
Splunky. I don't
Um.
know that
Oh
one.
no, I haven't played that. I know
Oh,
what you're talking about, but no, I haven't played it.
it's a 2 now. Like it has Splunky 2, which it wasn't as good as 1, but like Splunky 1, I have like I think I might have 400 hours in it.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a game. That is a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely like a game I played every day, like right before I went to bed. Like I gotta get one run of Splunky and I'm super happy.
That's so cool. That is so cool. And Nathan, what about you, bud? What's been going on?
Oh,
I missed you last week.
I know, I missed you too. Yeah, no, nothing much outside of work and Gamescom coverage, things of that nature. I mean, let's see. I got into the Mortal Kombat Chaos Reigns DLC. I started it, fell asleep on Sunday night, and I really like the DLC. It's that thing I've been waiting till it goes on sale, right? And it finally
Yeah.
went on an Ultimate Game Sale, and so I picked it up. And I've finally been like chipping away at that. I haven't gotten super far into it. I think I'm like probably around the area where you're finishing playing the second character. I probably played like one
So
out of
there's a
3 hours.
story.
Yeah.
There's a story to the Chaos Reign bit.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
It's not just more characters. There's
correct.
like a whole lot to it. Okay,
Correct.
cool.
So the synopsis of it is, who's the dude who like is able to rip his own head off and like his arms?
He was so cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his name is.
Anyways, so that
He's-
character, he's in an alternate universe and he's from this world of chaos and he's essentially going from universe to universe trying to like
Is it raining in chaos?
It's raining in chaos, quite literally. It's very cheesy,
Yep.
the classic Mortal Kombat, and
Love it.
He's here to bring chaos. So he, yeah. So the idea of it is just that they're trying to destroy every world, and it's all about being the best of the best. Essentially, kind of bringing back the tournament havoc. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on point.
Yes.
Yeah,
knows,
Steve's
man.
here, mate. We need a fourth person. He just
I know, right?
right. The guy off. You know how there's always that guy off screen that's like spouting info at the people. Like the people on the screen like don't know anything,
right?
and
Oh,
yeah,
but,
and Steve's off screen just like spitting facts. Love it.
I'm loving all the characters that they've added though. We were talking a little bit before we got it started. You got Screamface, you've got Conan, you've got T1000 or T100, and then you've got Cyrax and the red and the yellow one. You've also got Ermac.
Sector, isn't it?
Sector.
Cyrax
Yeah,
and Sector.
Yes,
Cyrax
Cyrax
and
and
Sector,
Sector.
yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of those characters are awesome. As soon as I started playing as Sector, I was in love because Sector has like these rockets, you can teleport, and as Cyrax, I remember playing the crap out of him in 9, and I really vibed with his playstyle, and then with this one, it seems to be the other way around. So I'm loving.
Is he the one that destroys the world with his fatality? You know, he
Yes.
opens up his chest and all those little bombs fall out, and the world just.
Yes. Yep. That is him.
Yep,
So
I remember him.
So
Sick.
far, I still like nobody's really topped Omni-Man for me. Like I've barely touched on Homelander. He kind of reminds me of playing Superman in Injustice, but I do really like playing as Sector. So I'm having a good time with that. I'm excited to keep digging into that. I'm basically just killing time until Shinobi comes out. I'm pretty sure that's this upcoming week. So I'm excited to dig into that. I'm
Amazing.
like Buck here. I really want to play Metal Gear Solid 3, but it's going to be one of those things. September is just too much. It's too much, man. I really want to play it. I've never played it before. I just
Oh,
Crimson not
Yeah.
Crimson the New Dawn. The New Dawn game is coming out soon.
oh, Chronos.
Chronos,
Yes.
yes. Chronos the New Dawn. That's coming out here soon, and then shortly after
And
it's going to be
Borderlands.
Borderlands. It's going to be Borderland times, folks. Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
good time to be a gamer.
Yeah.
Good time to be a gamer.
Right.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for the new game of the month as well.
Mhm.
On Monday, I've put together a shortlist. So on Monday, that vote's going to go out on the Discord. So make sure that you do join the Discord. There's some fun. There's some really weird looking games in there. So pretty excited for that. But yeah, it's fucking September, dude.
Yeah.
I don't have a nah,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah, and then after
I'm
that,
just gonna
it's
close my
October,
eyes.
and then it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are both of you getting Borderlands?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's gonna be a
me.
definite
I'm-
community game night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be doing anything else but Borderlands. I'm going to play it till I hate it.
Yep. Right. Oh man.
Yeah, that's what I did with Tiny Tina Wonderlands. I didn't play anything else. And then I think I got to that. I think it was like the end game where you could just up the difficulty and then you'd up it another one and up it another one.
Yep.
I think I got to like 7 and I was like, oh, I can't be bothered with this. I need a break.
I mean, in your defense, it's not like diverse. I mean, it's very much just that one game mode. It's like the same two
Over and
three
over
maps.
and
Oh, yeah. It's not really
Yeah.
adding much to the game. I mean, it would be fun with a friend, see how high you could get, but even at that, I could still see that getting stale.
Yeah.
But
Amazing.
with that, how about before we get into our Assassin's Creed talk, what games? Tell me one game that stood out to you this week, Buck, that you're like really stoked for from Gamescom. Wait, what's that?
I missed
Yeah.
that. Sorry, bud.
Invincible Versus.
Ah, yes. The gameplay looks
Oh.
incredible.
Yeah.
That game was super good. It's from the same team that did Killer Instinct, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
The mix of 3-on-3 and the brutality in that game looks awesome. Like, oh my god! Like I posted a real quick and dirty GIF that I made out of a YouTube stream of one of the supers. As soon as it's been on my radar ever since it was revealed at the Xbox event a couple months ago. But watching them play it the other day, I was just like, I'm definitely going to play this. This is crazy looking.
Yeah, it does look great. Not to yuck on anyone's yum, but the only thing that turned me off was the 3-on-3.
Oh, really?
And that's why I didn't get into Mortal Kombat 1 as much, was the 2v2. I don't know what it is about it. I feel, more is better. Like you get to choose all your favorite fighters to fight at the same time. I don't know, maybe it's just too much for my little pea brain. But I'm definitely someone who prefers my fighters like a 1v1.
Yeah. Just the simplicity of it. I get that.
Yeah. It could also be that I'm not a massive fight, like I'm a very, very entry level fighting game guy. I will struggle my way through a Mortal Kombat story mode. I'll play a few rounds online, and that's me.
I understand completely.
Yeah, I love them though. Don't get me wrong, I love them, and I'll waste an afternoon playing them. My wife doesn't play games, but there's a few games that she'll play with me. Call of Duty Zombies is one of them. She hates all the new ones because there's too much to do. She's like, I just want to shoot zombies. I don't want to have to turn the power on. I don't want to have to run around 3 times and get in a boat and flip upside down to spawn in this thing.
Yeah.
And the other one is Mortal Kombat. She loves Mortal Kombat. So we've got the Xbox One out in the lounge with Mortal Kombat 10 on it, and every now and again we'll bust that out. So good. My favorite guy is Aaron Black.
Ah, yes.
Aaron Black.
Yeah.
The cowboy with the repeater. So cool.
Yeah. Oh, I do
Yeah.
love Aaron Black. What game stood out to you the most, Fraser?
So, for me, the one that it like gave me the biggest like, oh, I wonder what this is, was Project Spectrum.
Which one was that?
It was like a first person horror extraction shooter.
Okay.
It was on the opening game. It was on the opening night live. We didn't get much than a cinematic trailer, but it was enough for me to be like, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
You fight fear, and fear can manipulate your gameplay to making your teammates look like enemies and kind of stuff like that. So you can be fighting and you turn a corner and there's a bunch of enemies and you just mow them down, but it was actually your team.
Yeah.
That seems super wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think I know exactly what you're talking about. It's more of a PvE, and I feel like we saw more than that, because I could be wrong, but I feel like I saw some gameplay where it's like first person and then you go in. Okay, yeah, I'm just talking out my ass, so I won't get into it. But
it might not have been gameplay. I think it was like a cinematic first person.
Okay.
Like the trailer was like her sitting on a couch in like a therapist's office talking about what she had done.
That did look.
It looks really cool.
Yes, it did. That's one of those things where it's like I'm nervous for it, because it's like even if they do a really 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 good job at making it, are people gonna ruin it? And it kind of makes you scared of that factor.
Yep.
But boy, I mean, at least it's still gonna be a game that's like worth trying out, and hopefully like the community comes together. Just like, again, community game night, we can make it fun ourselves, you know.
Yeah, that's right. And then just to sneak in the back there, have you guys seen anything about that Toxic Commander?
Oh, yeah, that game does look really cool. I couldn't hear you, Buck.
That game looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to playing that.
Yeah, so I managed to play like a cheeky little beta maybe 8 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there was no multiplayer. It was only single player. You got a vehicle and you had to fix the vehicle and shoot. It's like, it was so much fun. Yeah. It was real janky, and it was like PC with no controller support, and you both know how terrible I am at mouse and keyboard. So I really struggled with it. But you played like the first level in a little hub thing.
Yeah.
It's got like a Left 4 Dead killing floor, Alien Fireteam Elite style 4-player, not horde, but you know what, you have to get to an area and do a thing.
It seems very Left 4 Dead or Back 4 Blood-esque.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks cool. I'm really looking forward to that game too.
Yeah.
February.
I kind of forgot that it even existed, to be honest.
Yeah.
Haven't seen much about it, and then boom.
It looks awesome. Isn't there like a famous director behind it too?
Yeah,
John Carpenter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What all has he worked on? I recognize the name, but I don't know his work.
The Thing.
The what? The Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah. So he's like a good horror director.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
John Carpenter's The Thing. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
Okay, this is gonna be awesome. Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
More co-op. That's what we need.
Yes.
We need more co-op.
Yeah, more co-op.
100%, man.
Call of Duty campaign co-op.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Full player.
I am excited for that.
Get ready.
I did an article this week about like everything we know so far, and there's like, did you hear all about like the end game stuff and the fact like you got a whole entire open world kind of like Diablo, like where you got mini quests and all this stuff, open world challenges. You can kind of harkens back to the DMZ, which I know you really love that, Fraser, right?
Oh, I am
Yeah.
hooked on
Yeah.
the DMZ. I'm so upset that they stopped that, but it looks like they might have picked it up.
Yeah, sounds like they're pretty much bringing it back.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, I'm in. I am in.
Yeah. I already talked a good bit yesterday about all the games that I'm excited for. I talked about Lego Batman being my most anticipated, Resident Evil Requiem, Densha Attack is another shout out I'd like to give. I previewed that game, did a handoff preview, and game looks awesome. Very excited. You like Tony Hawk, you're gonna like this game. You like Sonic, you're gonna like this game. So
you like weird Japanese games with crazy things going on, you're gonna love this game.
Yep.
That game looks awesome.
It looks fantastic, and some of the combos and
amazing.
The developers went into some good detail about how like it's going to really. They want you to feel free. They don't want you to feel forced. Like, oh crap, I failed. Oh, I didn't get my object. No, like it's more about like experimenting with combos. So definitely check out Densha Attack when that comes out. But it's coming to Game Pass day one, so that's awesome. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into our Assassin's Creed talk. I'm going to toss it over to Fraser, and we're going to kind of just, like I said, this is live, so we're about to go into the recording, so we're going to kind of pretend like this is a brand new thing. So we will get started in 3, 2, and go.
London, 1868. The heart of the British Empire. Grit in your teeth, smoke in your lungs, and Templars in your parliament. Welcome to the Industrial Revolution. Hey, what did you think of that? Not bad. So welcome to the Gamer Social Club Party Chat. I guess this is, what, episode
49.
1.2?
Or of the games that made us.
I think
it's
4.
I
think it's 4.
Yeah,
I think it's episode 4. So this week we're going to continue our journey through the world of assassination. I'm Fraser, and today we're cracking open the manhole covers of Victorian London to unearth one of the franchise's most stylish, underrated entries, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now, was it perfect? Absolutely not. But did it offer zip lines, gang wars, and carriage chases? Absolutely. And I have been loving it. So after our Assassin's Creed Unity episode, I did jump back into Syndicate, and I have been spending a lot of time with it, and I have got so much to say. Like I was saying before, I think this Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed Syndicate has quickly become almost my favorite Assassin's Creed game, which, you know, there's some bloody good Assassin's Creed games out there. So now, to help me travel back to the gaslit alleys and skyline cathedrals of 1868, I'm joined again by Commander Buck and Nathan. Thank you both so much for coming again to talk more Assassin's Creed. Let's just have a little bit of a break for a second. Did both of you buy Assassin's Creed Syndicate day one?
Day one, baby.
Or did either of you buy it day one? Or did you kind of wait a little bit?
I think I waited a little bit. I'm pretty sure it was a couple weeks, at least a couple weeks before I got it.
Was that because of how bad Unity was?
I think it was it was kind of a double, like two things at play. Number one, Unity did land terribly, but it cleaned itself up. I will give it that. The other thing, I think at that point, I just got into like a rut with like Assassin's Creed. You know, like I think even like you can see it in the game. Like this game borrows a lot from Unity, even like animations and stuff like that. And it just seemed like it just got it became stale. And I think we'll talk more about that, but that's kind of how I felt. I did eventually buy it. So I didn't even wait that long. I think it may have been like a month or two, a couple months. It wasn't long at all, but I didn't get it day one.
What about you, Nathan?
I did buy it day one. Yes. I was excited. But I will say I wasn't as excited. I know that there's, the whole entire thing of people weren't excited from Unity and Syndicate had bad sales. I wasn't. I was like not excited for the other reasons. Like it was the other way around. It was upside down for me. Like I was excited by Unity. I loved Unity. I loved the direction. And then Syndicate, I'm like, it didn't feel like it was offering much to get me excited for. Like everything I was hearing about it, all the stuff they were adding, I was just like, none of this is good enough to say, hey, you need to be here day one. But I'm an Assassin's Creed player. I love playing Assassin's Creed games. I'm always going to be there day one for no matter what kind of style or version of the game it is. I'm going to be there and play it regardless. And I remember having an absolute blast with the game. But it was, I think I said last time in our last episode, every Assassin's Creed game that comes out, I'm like, oh man, this is the best one. This is the best one. If I recall correctly, I don't remember feeling that way with Syndicate and being like, yeah, this is the best one. I remember there being things in there where I was like, oh wow, this is really awesome. They finally like refined this, that, and the other thing, but I never felt like, oh yeah, this is undoubtedly my favorite in the franchise, which was odd for me.
See, I bought it day one. I have the only two that I haven't bought day one was Rogue and Shadows. Don't ask me why. Because Shadows I played it day one, but I still haven't bought it. I got the Ubisoft Plus thing just because of money. But so my thing was back then, I didn't care about reviews. I didn't care about scores. I didn't care about numbers. I didn't care about anything. I just like, is this fun? Is this going to be worth the money that I pay for it? Now, I grew up in New Zealand. In 2015, I was still in New Zealand. We did have the internet, but it was very expensive and not everybody had it. And so all of the what am I trying to say? Like all of the multiplayer stuff and all of the online stuff was like of Unity. I wasn't able to do a lot of it because I couldn't, to update your thing or to go and download DLCs, you'd have to go to mum's house or you'd have to go to a friend's house who had the internet, and you'd plug your console in, you'd download your nonsense, and then you'd go home. Like that was the thing. And so a lot of Unity was lost on me until much later. But Syndicate got rid of all of that. Syndicate was a single player experience. No multiplayer, no co-op, no live thing that you needed. You could just play it. And so I was chuffed.
Yeah.
I bought the special edition with I think it was called the Big Ben edition. Now, here's a fun little piece of trivia. Big Ben, it's not the tower. Big Ben is actually the bell. There you go. There's a
really
so big. Yeah. So the bell at the top of when they refer to Big Ben, they're referring to the bell that is at the top of the tower. I believe the tower is called the Queen Victoria Tower or something like that, and Big Ben is the bell.
I did not know that.
So there you go. There you go. Always learning.
Always learning. Always learn something.
Always
cool
learning
on these episodes.
Yeah. So before we go any further, for those that might have missed our previous episodes, we started out covering the Assassin's Creed in their trilogies. So we did, the first episode was like the first 4 games. The second episode was the second 4 games. I thought that I wanted to start and kind of dive deeper into each game. So we started to pull apart the games from their groups. And so for Unity and both for Syndicate, we're only going to be talking about Syndicate today. So if you want to hear more about all the other ones, go back and listen to the previous episodes. They're a bit of fun. So just some little facts before we get started. If you can believe Assassin's Creed Syndicate is the 9th major installment in the series.
Gee,
Apart from something like Final Fantasy, what other games have got 9? I mean, we've got more now, but can you? I mean, we got like Call of
Call of
Duty.
Duty, yeah.
We got Maddens. We got the
Mortal
sports
Kombat.
games. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think Street
Well,
Fighter
I'm gonna
has
say
that many.
Street Fighter. I was gonna say Star Ocean, but Street Fighter is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild, isn't it?
It is
It's
kind of
wild that
crazy how many.
9.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't think about it, you just think, oh, there's heaps of Assassin's Creed games. We're now talking about the 9th major installment. So Assassin's Creed Syndicate is the second major title not to be developed by Ubisoft Montreal. So the lead development was handed over to Ubisoft Quebec, who had helped with other titles, but they had never had the lead design role. The reason that they gave it to them was because they did both of the DLCs. So the Tyranny of King Washington and Freedom Cry, which were both fantastic DLCs.
Oh, yeah.
So they thought, do you know what? Let's give them a go. And I will say that I'm happy they did. Released on October the 23rd, 2015. So it is 10 years old, almost. Which is also wild. Originally released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and then 1 month later we got a PC release.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty wild. Now, moving on to Syndicate itself. So London in 1868 wasn't just a city; it was a machine, fueled by coal and blood. The Industrial Revolution had transformed the capital into a sprawling, smoky titan, teeming with orphans, inventors, aristocrats, and gang lords. So in Syndicate, we explored 7 different boroughs. I haven't got them all here, but we've got the main ones. So we've got Whitechapel. Now, we all know the famous story of Whitechapel, poverty-stricken and ripe for rebellion. We've got the City of London, which holds all of the power. There's Lambeth, which is the working class factories, and then there's Westminster, where have either of you been to Europe before or been to London?
No.
Westminster Abbey is possibly the most impressive building I have ever seen in my life. I am not a religious person, and I walked in, and it took my breath away. With just how impressive this thing was. I got told off for wearing my hat inside.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
That just goes to show how out of touch I am. I walked inside and this lady leans over. She's like, "Do you mind taking your hat off?" And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah. Oh shit, I swore." Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah. So each district has its own flavor, both in visuals and in gameplay. Some are industrial mazes, others are leafy and rigid with class division. It's the first time in Assassin's Creed history where an entire city felt vertical thanks to the rope launcher. Climb Big Ben in seconds. So we've got our new piece of equipment, but we're not going to talk about that quite yet. We've got a quote here from Evie Fry. London is not a city of peace. It is a city of death. So that is the setting for Syndicate. Now, got a couple of questions for you guys. First impressions of London. So the first time you loaded up Syndicate, what did you think about London as a setting?
You want to go first, Buck?
Yeah, I can go first. You know what? It really just felt like that it encompassed that time period. You know, like you loaded it up, it really kind of felt like you were just like back in that era. You know what I mean? Like they did a great, again, like with Unity, making Paris feel like alive at that time period. With this, it really just felt like like almost unreal. Like you know what I mean? Like, and I know video games have come a long way since the blocks or whatever, but just like loading it up for the first time and seeing London and using using the rope launcher, it just was like feel like I'm really in this time period. Kind of like a Spider-Man in New York. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it was
Yep.
like it just felt like
1868
right.
London Spider-Man.
Yeah. Does whatever, assassin can.
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. What
um
about you, Nathan? Do you?
I definitely I loved the vibe of it. I didn't know much about that time period going into it, so for me it
Yep.
was very much a learning experience and kind of getting the vibe. Um, but yeah, I think that it was like it brought a whole new aspect to the franchise, and as far as like its setting and tone, because I remember it starting off with like you're in a foundry of some sort. You're in a warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember that just
Yep.
being like, this is different, and I really liked that. I really liked that this took us more, quite literally, indoors and into
Yeah.
these warehouses, and the franchise has just never done that. I really liked it. It made me feel like I was playing more of an Arkham City game rather than a Assassin's Creed game, if that makes sense. I think back
Yeah.
to like him hanging like the Mr. Freeze boss fight. Never forget. But yeah, it kind of gave me that
Yeah.
vibe a little bit. But
Yeah.
definitely, I did
They
love the setting.
yeah, they really nailed that industrial feeling, didn't they? Like the city was never silent. You'd be running and there's like chugging trains, smoke, shit on the streets. Like
Mhm.
it was
You can
brutal.
almost feel the soot on your skin
Yeah.
playing it.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Yeah.
it's
Like
yeah.
the industrial revolution, and it was almost like a thing of like this is the first time that we've experienced like full Templar control. Like usually the game is revolving around you fighting the Templar. In London, you have all the assassins have lost. They are on the back foot. The Templars are in complete control of London, and it feels like a lost city. Like you're walking through the streets, and there's there was a scene or like a video of when you first start a mission, and you're in a factory, and a piece of equipment has fallen on a child,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the foreman walks in. He's like, "What is this? What is this shit? Like, shut him up. Oh, he's hurt. Well, can he work? No, he can't. Well, take it out of his pay. Like, what pay? You're not paying him anything anyway." Like, and it was
Exactly.
just so real. Like they pulled the thing off and they dragged this kid away. And then the more and more you get into it, like man, it would have been a rough time to be alive. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, so my next question was, do you think Assassin's Creed has ever done a better job of creating a city that felt more vertical? So what I mean by that is at the moment, previously, we've had big buildings to climb, but I feel like everything in London was high and everything involved you climbing. There's so much climbing. Like, and they obviously implemented a piece of equipment to help us with that, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But did you feel like the parkour and the city felt good to run around?
Yeah and no. I mean, again, I'm kind of pulling from some old memories here, but I I remember kind of almost being a little bit exhausted from how much parkour I had to do and wanting to always take
Yeah.
shortcuts because there was going to be just so much. So I feel like if there was ever any point in the franchise where I felt it over exhausted its amount of parkouring, it was in this one. And I
Yep.
feel like since then they've gone so far in the opposite direction, because when we revisited
Yes.
Unity, I was like, man, I miss this so much. And realized how long it's been since we've had an Assassin's Creed that I feel like I'm doing the parkouring a lot. But yes, in Syndicate, that was the first time I was feeling exhausted from it all. So yes, they did a great job. Do I think it was the right direction? Probably not. That's just me.
Yep. Yep. Cool.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So yeah, yeah. I think we all agree. Like I would find myself, especially revisiting these games, not doing parkour and just running through the streets. Where if I needed to go over here, I would just run through the streets, and instead of climbing, I would use parkour when I needed to attack someone or get somewhere. But if it was like the free roam part, I hardly ever parkoured. I'd just be running through the streets. Do any of the boroughs or the neighborhoods stand out to you, or do you remember any of them?
I don't remember, but I will say that the left side of the map, specifically like top left and the bottom left, I found myself gravitating and getting excited whenever I had to go in that direction. I can't.
Yeah.
I think it was primarily that you would have a lot more warehouses rather than housing and buildings. I remember it offered a lot more zip lines. So and also I feel like I ran into gangs a lot more often when I was on that side of the map, and happened to deal with stuff there. So I will say, when it comes to favorite boroughs, I remember those two being the best.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I think that they're probably mine as well. So how it kind of worked out was that Westminster, sorry, not Westminster, fucking what's it called, Whitechapel was kind of top left, and then below that was like Westminster, and then you had the ones around the bottom. It was like the train station in the middle, and then you had the surrounding areas, and each suburb or each neighborhood felt drastically different. I remember when you would have to go to Whitechapel for a mission, it was just mazes and mazes of alleyways, and you were constantly running into people, losing people, doing all sorts of crazy things. Where on that other side of the map, it was a lot more open, and like you said, you could get into street brawls.
Yeah.
And boy, was that fun. I think we were coming off the backs of that movie. It's got Daniel Day-Lewis in it, Leonardo DiCaprio, Gangs of New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We were all coming off the backs of that. And, I remember that scene of like Daniel Day-Lewis, he's got that giant two-handed cross club, and he's just beating people with this thing. It's like, this movie is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. All right. So we have passed through that, and then I guess the last kind of question or thing we have to talk about, like, historically, the Industrial Revolution was a pretty gritty, grim time. Did the game romanticize this, or do you think it portrayed it fairly?
I'll let Bob go first.
I think it was a pretty fair portrayal of that time period, especially when you talk about, like, you talked about it a little earlier with the child labor, and just seeing that and being like, whoa, like,
they didn't shy away from it, did they?
They went right into it. And
it,
because I think that was one of the very, very early missions, right?
Yeah.
Like, when that pops up, like,
that. Honestly, I was kind of feeling that that's one of the biggest things I remember from that game that I do love, was the fact of, in our last episode, I talked a lot about Unity and how much I loved that we were taking the personal experience, right? And how that was kind of like one of the biggest highlights of that game. So when we went into Syndicate, I felt that same way of this feels personal, and I felt more hands-on with the direct work that the assassins were having towards the people and how they helped the community, and it just felt more hands-on. I really liked getting, like you said, Buck, like your hands feel grimy. You're really getting your hands dirty. You quite legitimately take your top hat off and start getting into brawls. So I will say that was, I did not feel that it were romanticized. I felt that it was dark, gritty. I felt like my chest was heavy a lot of the time during that game, rather than feeling like, oh, I love this, I love what's happening. It did not feel that way.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like, looking back at Unity, I feel like Unity romanticized that era.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it was like, look how cool this is. Look at the people rising up. It's like, nah, it's still pretty shit. It's a pretty shit time for everyone. And yeah, I feel like Syndicate definitely did that. I love how you mentioned that. Like, you take your top hat off and you put your brass knuckles on, and you just get stuck in. Boy, well, that's a brilliant segue into the next bit of talking about the twins. So, what truly makes Syndicate shine is the dual protagonist system. So let's meet Jacob and Evie Fry, twins raised by assassins, but each with their own style. So we've kind of got this in Shadows, but I don't think Shadows did it quite as well as Syndicate.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Jacob, loud, confident, reckless, a street-smart thug with a cause. And then we've got Evie, methodical, intelligent, disciplined, a master of stealth. So you can switch between them in free roam, and their personalities even impact your gameplay. Jacob is better at open combat, and Evie is more effective with stealth and gadgets. So again, a couple of little quotes here. I believe we must fight fire with fire, and that's Jacob. And then Evie counters that with, and I believe we must fight fire with intelligence. So that just goes to show they're two different approaches. I'll take that back. I love in Shadows how you could choose who you wanted to be to do a mission. With Syndicate, the story missions was still very much you had to be that person. And then in free roam, you could choose which one you wanted to be. So their dynamic gives us a rare sibling relationship in gaming, not just in dialogue, but in mission design and overarching physiology. So, fun fact, Evie Fry quickly becomes a fan favorite. I don't know about you, but I played Evie all the time. Her cosmetics were just so much cooler than his. And then talking about cosmetics, I feel like this was the first Assassin's Creed where the actual clothes that we are wearing felt era appropriate, where before, sure, they were era appropriate, but they were all flashy and you did not fit in. You're supposed to fit into a crowd. You're supposed to be a face in a crowd. But yet I'm wearing this big ornate cloak. Where Jacob, you have a torn blazer, some boots, a little hat. Let's go. And then Evie was more of like the opposite, where she had a big gown and you used her to kind of infiltrate different areas. I thought that was so cool. So cool. But did either of you have a favorite?
I think mine was definitely Evie as well. Like you said, I loved the amount of cosmetics. I felt more comfortable playing as her. I liked her character better than Jacob. And yeah, so just any chance I got, I remember switching. Now, can you refresh my... I apologize if I'm taking us off the rail, but can you refresh my memory on exactly how the swapping system worked in that game? Because if I recall correctly, I remember kind of feeling like it was kind of a pain in the butt to have to switch back and forth between characters, which is why I was surprised you were saying you thought it was better than Shadows, because Shadows gives you an opportunity to switch characters at like every loading screen, essentially.
Yeah, this does much the same. You just
It
press
did.
start,
Okay.
and then you click the right thumbstick and you switch.
I bet you it says Xbox One load times. I bet you that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Probably actually, because like I said, I'm replaying this on the series, and it's probably got all those fancy little series updates that comes with it. Actually, no, it has. It's got a huge update.
Yeah,
60 frames per
it's
second.
got that, yeah, got that massive update, and I say it's looking pretty darn good.
I know what I'm doing while I wait for Shinobi.
Yeah, right. So I guess my first question is, how do we feel about the dual protagonists? It's the first time we've got it. It in fact was the last time we saw it until Shadows. What do we think? What's our thoughts on the dual protagonists? Include Shadows as well if we want to.
I thought it was dope. I actually really liked it.
Yeah,
it was cool to see it from like two different like perspectives, and then like two different fighting styles. Totally, like, you know what I mean? Like even two different like you were just saying, the two different quotes that they had, like they really saw things differently, even though they're twins. You know.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to see in this game.
There were often times throughout the game as well where they would literally fight and storm off, and then somehow you have to, like, you know, if I spoke to a coworker or a friend like that, you would have to talk things through. But because they are twins, they can speak to each other exactly how they want and how they need to, and there's no grudges held.
Yep.
It's kind of just, oh, that's just Jacob. He's just a blunt instrument. Oh, Evie's just being fucking annoying. Like, let's just go in and punch this dude until he tells us what we need.
Yep.
Like, and both of them are. So it was really interesting. Like for me, I much preferred to play as Evie, but also there were some certain parts about Jacob that were just so good, like the street brawls, and just like that was such a cool addition to it, and you know, having the rooks and everything around. But yeah, I think I chose Evie just because I wanted to keep playing the stealth part or the stealth element as opposed to rushing in, and I found that again with Shadows as well. When I'm given the opportunity, I will prefer to sneak in and, you know, be a badass ninja or a badass assassin than just walking in and just beating people. It felt better.
But yeah, I love the dual protagonist situation as well. I mean, there's not much you guys said that I can really add into it other than the fact of I did like the fact that it was pretty much just two of the same, but it was really just more about preference versus the way Shadow does it, where it's like, no, this is a night and day difference. You are going to have a very different experience with playing as this character versus that one. So I think I do kind of prefer the, you know, hey, they're both the same, but it's about preference. Because, you know, I'm going to get into it way more when we start talking about Odyssey, but I do not like having a choice. Like, no, just give me the freaking protagonist and let's stick with it. So I'll definitely go off about that more when we start talking about Odyssey. So I do really, really, really like the dual protagonist because it does give you the best of both worlds. It gives you the choice of, you know, we talked about not really being a huge fan of Arno. I remembered his name. Arno from Unity. Mm-hmm. We weren't really a huge fan. Didn't really stick with us. But we did remember Jacob and Evie. And even at that, like, you know, we both liked Evie better. And like, so yeah, I will say, keep up that dual protagonist. I love it.
Yeah. I got a few more questions, but I think we're going to skip past those ones. We'll move on to the next bit.
Okay.
It was more just we've kind of answered them. It's more just about our preferences and well, I guess Evie Fry was the first like lead female protagonist, apart from that little side game that we got. Do we think she got the attention she deserves from the franchise? Has she been remembered? I think she has. Yep. We all remember her.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We all remember Evie. Yeah. In fact, I feel like my time with Evie is more memorable than, you know, like Cassandra or Ava. Even though Valhalla is possibly I'm going to say it, Valhalla is my favorite Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
As the actual assassin or as the actual character that you are, Ava would definitely not be in my top 5.
Nah.
Which is very, you know, how can it be my favorite game yet not my favorite assassin?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, Evie was. I love her. She's like, I love just what she stands for and kind of how she'll fight, even though, you know, it might not necessarily be the right thing. She fights for like the right thing. Yeah, love it.
The brother-sister dynamic was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
she was the voice of reason all the time. And she's also a hard ass, like a no bullshit kind of person. And that's just a lovable character in my opinion.
Yeah, as we'll talk a little bit about the DLC, but like she, you know, even after the story carries on, she becomes even more of a badass. Jacob just kind of stays where he is, and she goes on above and beyond. So, all right, let's talk about taking back London. So, at the start of the game, London is completely under Templar control. So what do the Fry twins do? They start a gang. Like, what else can we do? So, think of it like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but mixed with a street-level Peaky Blinders vibe. So that's what I got from it. Like, you are street-level knuckle dusters and sticks and cane swords, and you're just having brawls in the street. So liberating districts involves winning gang wars, kidnapping or assassinating targets, freeing children from labor camps. How is that a thing? How is that a thing? And then destroying propaganda and disrupting control. Now, one of the biggest things that I had forgotten was the kidnapping. Do either of you remember the mechanics or the kidnapping missions?
I don't. I totally forgot about it until you brought it up.
No.
So you can walk up behind someone, and instead of killing them, you twist their arm behind their back, and then they get a little like a little area around them, and as you walk, that area gets bigger. And inside, if someone is inside that area, they kind of notice you, and so you have to like drop into an area, grab a gang leader or someone, and get them out. And so it was almost like a mini stealth game where you would have to stop and wait for people to walk past.
Yep.
And then you could walk again. But every now and again, he'd struggle and the area would get really big.
Yeah.
So they were some of the hardest missions in the whole game, I reckon.
Yeah, I actually remember because it's a very similar. The second time I brought it up, Arkham City, like, and how you had to question people, and then that would unlock a new path for you to go follow. So yeah, I do remember this because it did remind me of that.
Dude, I think that after I finish Fireteam Elite, I'm gonna start going back into some of those old Batman games.
Yeah,
because
right?
That's so good. They are so good.
Yeah,
they really are.
Well, with that Batman,
anyway,
Lego Batman game, yeah, I kind of want to too.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. So, Jacob builds an underworld army Evie searches for a powerful piece of Eden, and together they take back the city one block at a time. Now, your gang grows with upgrades. So essentially, now we've started to make the move towards Origins. So we're starting to get some full-on RPG elements now in Syndicate. We had them in Unity, like just in the form of like different levels of equipment. But now we're really starting to kind of upgrade our things, make our gangs better. So you can bribe police, you can get better carriages, and you can recruit stronger allies. Now, one of my favorite things about this was the fact that you could call on your gang members at any time, but they didn't make it easier. So, in Brotherhood, how you had your assassins and you could call them in and you could just stroll through and everything was fine. With this, you can be running towards an opponent and you can whistle and a couple of gang members just join you on the street. It was I had completely forgotten how it all worked. You can be on a cart, like a horse-drawn carriage, and you can pull over and all your boys jump in. And then you can head off to a street brawl down in Westminster.
Oh man, I forgot about the carriages until you just said them. Oh, so good.
Yeah. So, what do we think about the Rooks as a gameplay mechanic? Did building your own gang feel meaningful to you?
It made me feel a part of the resistance, if that makes sense. I feel like it amplified to the narrative that we are very hands-on in this game of we're in the shadows, but it's kind of so in our face that it doesn't feel like we're in the shadows, like necessarily fighting behind the scenes. So the fact that we're running games kind of helped add to that narrative of, we are at war. We are fighting against suppressors here. This is like so bad that, we can't really hide that much at all. So I did like it.
Yeah. Anything from you, Jonathan?
I think that I totally agree with that. Like, I'm trying to like remember anything like that I felt different from what Nathan said, but I think he covered it perfectly.
Well, thank you.
Okay, my only thing is that I wish we didn't run the gang. I just wish we were in it.
Yeah.
Like I wish that and I think I don't know where this comes from, but I am not in games. I would much prefer to kind of be on the ground level than be telling people to do things. So kind of like I don't know how they would have done it story-wise or stuff like that, because that was the whole thing. We're building a gang, we're taking the city back. But it would have been cool with, hey, these people are building a gang, let's be part of it. Like something that wasn't like assassin driven. So, like these Rooks, essentially they're part of the Creed. But I think it would have been cool if the Rooks were their own thing and then you joined them, almost using the Rooks as cover to do your Assassin's Creed things. I thought that could have been an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
And did you have a favorite activity when liberating the districts? So we had bounties, we had gang wars, and we had child labor rescues, which again just seems so wild to me. that country was built off the back of children.
It's crazy. I don't remember one. If we're just talking side activities, I don't remember one specifically sticking out to me. I just remember I did 100% that map and had a good time doing so.
Yeah, the gang wars, they were so much fun. Rolling in.
Gang wars were cool.
Yeah. You just it was like two two groups of dudes in the street, and you just fight, and whoever won just won. Ah, it's so
Did they take
good.
that mechanic for the game where to kind of refine it? I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but
No,
it just occurred to me that like I think they took that mechanic and put it in Odyssey.
when those war scenes or the
Yeah, for the
battle.
war scene. Yeah, the
Yep,
battlefield scene. Yeah.
yep, yes,
Yeah.
yep.
That
Amazing.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just yeah. Yeah, it's just so cool. I think like I said, like I playing through this, every time something new happened, I got a little bit more excited. And I feel like a lot of the Assassin's Creeds didn't have essential progression. You progress through the story and that was kind of it. But this one, like at the start, you're just a couple of twins. You're just like, man, everything sucks. And then you start building a gang, and then you can use your gang. You can call on them. You can bribe police. You can do all sorts of crazy cool things. Yeah, loads and loads of fun. So, I guess this is where people kind of forget, I think. But the magic of Assassin's Creed is how real history meets fiction. And people get lost. People get lost in that because this is just a made up story about some assassins and some Templars set during a historical time period. So in Syndicate, you cross paths with some of Victorian England's most iconic people. So we got Charles Darwin uncovering conspiracies tied to scientific truth. We got Charles Dickens investigating ghosts and spiritual hoaxes. Florence Nightingale's in there for a little bit, so she's advocating for social care and order. And there's someone called Karl Marx. Now I had to look him up because someone I didn't really know who it was, but he stirred the working class revolt. And then we got Alexander Graham Bell, so he's your gadgets boy. And then we even came across Queen Victoria herself, which was pretty cool to kind of see people like that. So now there was another person who we came across in the game, and like you guys both said, like it's been quite a while since you played it, so I'm not gonna ask you if you remember who it was, but we did a couple of missions with Arthur Conan Doyle. Now, do either of you know who he is?
Not ringing a bell.
Not ringing a bell.
He was he was the author of Sherlock Holmes. So he created Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, gotcha.
And I thought it was really cool because I love all those Sherlock games. And I thought it was cool that we almost got a little bit of like Gotham style detective stuff happening towards the end of the game, which I really, really loved. So I guess just a couple of questions around the historical side of things. Which historical figure or side quest in Syndicate stood out to you the most? Obviously, we don't really have one. For me, some of those Charles Dickens missions were pretty fun. Yeah. But then also, I love the Arthur Conan Doyle stuff, just because I'm a Sherlock Holmes nerd.
Oh yeah.
So it was really cool coming across him. There was another person who we ran into, and I thought it would have been cool if they had dove into it more. But we did come across Lewis Carroll, who was the author of Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Yeah.
So they could have done an Alice in Wonderland DLC, which could have been pretty funny.
Oh, that would have been sick.
Assassin's Creed in Wonderland.
Down the rabbit hole.
Amazing.
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, is there anyone else that you feel like could have fit in well into the Syndicate story?
Buck, do you want to go first? Because I'm forgetting the name of this person. I gotta look him up real quick.
Oh, no, you know what? I'm trying to figure it out in my brain, but I'm not coming up with anything at the moment.
I
So now, okay, I remember. So H.H. Holmes. Do you guys know who H.H. Holmes is?
wasn't he a serial killer?
He was. H.H.
Yes.
Holmes was a serial
Yes.
killer in Chicago. If you ever played the Dark Pictures anthology, they actually based one of the games off of the H.H. Holmes mansion. And, it's a murder hotel, and it was very crazy. I mean, I highly recommend going and go check out some podcasts surrounding the H.H. Holmes stuff, because the way he trapped people was absolutely insane. You would think it's straight out of a horror movie, and it's true. Everything that happened, and the whole place got burned down. Now, I'm not like super big on theories, like conspiracy theories and things of that nature, but I will say there is a very, very good case. Like, nobody ever found him, but they did theorize. And the closest theory that they have to figuring out where H.H. Holmes went was to London during this time period, during the time that Jack the Ripper was active. And this same conspiracy theory is like, H.H. Holmes was there during that time period, and Jack the Ripper stopped in the same time period that H.H. Holmes showed up again back in the U.S. So I'm just kind of giving you like the bullet points, but there's a lot of really good theories that line
Ladies
up.
and gentlemen, we've solved it.
Yeah,
Solved it.
right?
Nathan solved it.
Yeah, drop the banner for Nathan. We got him.
Yeah.
We got him, boys.
We got him.
But yeah, no, so like there's a lot of really great conspiracy theories surrounding H.H. Holmes being Jack the Ripper and all that stuff. So that kind of answers two of your questions there of like,
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper was one of the bigger ones that I remember the most, of like you being the one to find him and go after him and try to solve that mystery. So he definitely was the thing that stood out to me the most from that game. If we were going to bring historical figures into it, I would have loved to see that theory like play out. Like, oh, it is H.H. Holmes, and or having that kind of be a thing, or like, oh, he came in off the boat. He slipped right through our grass or something like that.
Yeah. He started his own hotel.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what, like, when was Sweeney Todd a thing?
Oh, that's a
was
good
that
question.
was that the same time period? That could have been fun. Like the barber from, I can't remember what his barber from somewhere.
Fleetwood Street or Fleet Street.
Fleet Street, making meat pies out of people. Like that could have been a fun little side thing.
Let's see.
We could go down
1846 through 47.
So it's a little bit before.
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe they could have used his nah. Let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy.
The apple of Eden brought him back to life.
Yes.
He's active again. We gotta stop him.
H.H. Holmes has the apple of Eden.
And you gotta solve all the puzzles in his murder house.
In his murder mansion. Wasn't there a season of American Horror Story about H.H. Holmes or about the murder house?
I think so.
So I think it took a lot of influence from it, but it wasn't directly referencing him.
Oh, okay.
That was the Lady Gaga one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the Hotel. That was the fourth season. Yep.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. All right. So, while not revolutionary, Syndicate streamlined and refined the Assassin's Creed formula. So, we got a few new things which we're definitely bringing across. So we got a rope launcher, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This was game changing. Apps, and I'm so glad that we got it back in Shadows because it made sense. Sure, the rope launcher in Syndicate it's a little bit crazy. You can fire it pretty darn far. So it changed how you traverse London. Vertically finally felt smooth. It also allowed for quick escapes and stealth entry points because they introduced a mechanic where you had to infiltrate certain areas and you could infiltrate certain areas through different approaches. You could fist fight your way in through the front door with Jacob, or you could use the rope launcher with Evie and kind of sneak in. So that was pretty cool. We also got carriages introduced. Now, I believe around 1860 something was the first motor cars as well, or motor cars were starting to become a little bit more popular. So it would have been interesting to see a car or two um, just kind of floating around. But the carriages, so you could hijack carriages, you could engage in high speed chases or ride through London like a gentleman. So, how do we feel about the carriages?
I was fine with them. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be constantly returning back to the whole entire thing of I was always looking for a shortcut. I think had to do with the fast travel system and the fact that I was getting a
Yep.
little tired of the um parkour how much parkouring there was. So I was
Yep.
like constantly going back to carriages, constantly doing the rope slinging,
Yep.
and constantly doing and then trying to make it to the train stations. And I know I'm answering a lot of your questions all at once here, Phrase, but it's just
No, that's good.
all of that stuff just broke immersion for me. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not that one thing was bad in and of itself, but it was the adding the rope thing, and it was adding the hook blade and adding the way you had to travel around London that really broke immersion, because it felt like if you went one, you couldn't fully go with one thing all the way. Like, what suits you best? You constantly had to be trying different things. On the flip side of that, I can see where that is going to be more widely appreciated outside of my own personal feelings on it, because of the fact of you're not just parkouring in this game. You do have the mixture of carriage, you do have the mixture of, the trains there, but you're probably not going to be so inclined to constantly fast travel here there, because in every Assassin's Creed game, they're everywhere. So,
Yeah.
it did encourage you to explore a lot more of London. So, while objectively speaking, I feel that it was a good thing, subjectively, I wasn't a huge fan. Like, it just didn't hit for me as far as carriages and all of it just together. It made me feel not so immersed in the game as an Assassin's Creed game, I guess.
Yep. Yep. I think to add to that, they made London feel again lived in, having carriages all around all the time. But the driving mechanics were terrible.
Yeah.
You could drift a horse and cart, and that was part of it. Like
Yeah.
you could you could ram other horse and carts, but I felt like you said, it broke immersion. If they wanted to include horse and carts, these things needed to be destructible almost instantly. Like if you hit something, they just explode into pieces. The horses aren't indestructible. Like you know, it if you need to use a horse and cart, you are using it. You're going straight. You're getting into a chase, and you're going straight. You're not drifting through the streets of Westminster trying to smash the other cart to bits. Like that completely removes all immersion.
Right.
And just makes it silly. It just makes it silly.
And the people on the streets just constantly have to like jump out of the way. I agree.
Yeah. So like they're a kind of necessary evil. They needed to be there. They weren't done particularly well. And I found when it was time to do a horse and cart mission, I was kind of like, ugh, another one.
Yeah. It's a Batmobile all over again.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But bad. But
But
bad.
Batmobiles are terrible.
That's right. Jonathan, have you got anything to add to the
No, I don't have
carriages?
anything. No, I think you guys hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
And then the combat. So we just got even more responsive combat. The Syndicate uses a combo-based brawling system. So we've got less fencing again, like the earlier, the parries, the dodges, the whatever. This one, it's all about combos, and it's all about just trying to get in that final hit as quickly as possible. The multiple takedowns, they made everything really easy and look really good. So you didn't have two blades, but you had a sword cane or you had something. And again, when you were Evie, if you needed to do a double takedown, she just did a double takedown, but just with one blade. Stab this guy, kick him, dead.
Yeah.
It was done. It was done really, really well. Do either of you remember much about the combat?
I don't, unfortunately. I wish I did.
Yeah. All right, easy peasy. So, I guess first question: rope launcher. How do we feel about it?
I'll let you go first, Buck, because I pretty much already answered this question.
I don't know. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I guess you can make a case for it breaking immersion and being kind of unrealistic, but I mean, it
was fun.
So.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Still ended up using
it.
Wasn't a fan, but it still ended up using it. Yep.
Yeah. I found it made me parkour more than if I didn't have it. Because, again, how they did it, you would hold, I think right trigger would parkour up and right bumper would parkour down. They had refined that. So it felt really easy to do. And then you had the rope launcher, which just added more ease. So all of a sudden, parkour wasn't the super annoying thing that was forced upon you. It was something cool that it was easy to do, and they kind of wanted you to use it. And they, it wasn't a chore to use, as opposed to my next question about the carriages. Like, how do we feel about the carriages? I despise them.
Yeah. Not huge fans here.
Yeah. Okay, so we will not be having carriages in our game. But it wouldn't have been 1860s London if they didn't have them.
It's true though. Yeah.
But and if we couldn't use them, it would have been even worse if they were there just as a thing.
That was a very good point.
So I'm glad we could use them, but I just don't think that they were done well. Would you like to see gang mechanics return?
If it makes sense. I think throughout this series we've talked a good bit about the Brotherhood, and we've talked about how we would love to see a return of the Brotherhood. And I kind of feel like gangs are very similar to that. So I guess when I say if it makes sense, I mean, like, yes, I want either the Brotherhood or a gang, but depending on our setting in our perfect Assassin's Creed game, that's going to kind of be the determining factor of what makes more sense for this game. Like, especially for, I mean, because, you know, you got Vikings in Valhalla, and, you know, that was clearly like, you've got a crew. And so, I mean, I feel like, you do want gangs of some form in your Assassin's Creed game, for sure.
And like Viking, they did it well.
Mm-hmm.
You used your gangs to raid.
Yep.
And then when you were off doing your own thing, you were off doing your own thing.
Yep.
Like, you know, if we look at Shadows, we don't want gangs and Shadows.
Exactly.
Like what is that going to bring to the game? I don't think it's going to bring anything. I think what would you have, a 3 or 4 roaming samurai with you? Like, what's the point in having Yasuke then?
Yep.
Like, it kind of, you're absolutely right. We're like thinking about it, and as I was writing all this stuff down, I was like, man, we need gangs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the only reason I'm thinking that is because they worked so well in this particular instance.
Yeah.
They worked so well in Brotherhood, but then, all right. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. And then, how do we? Are we liking the combat? The way the combat's going?
Yeah, I thought the combat was cool.
Yeah.
Felt I'm gonna use a wrestling term. Felt like British strong style wrestling, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool.
Amazing.
I can't, like I said, I can't really remember. So if it was more in line with Unity and it was kind of more refined and built up a little more in that sense, then we are liking the direction.
Yeah, definitely. And if it continues on to even, again, we'll just talk about Shadows real quick. The combat in Shadows is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the combat in Valhalla, and I kind of, when I first started Shadows, I was like, Valhalla's better. But I think the more that I play Shadows, the more that the combat is just, it's just so good.
Right.
I think we'll talk more about that when we go into like the RPG stuff, but there's so much that they need to change to bring it back. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. So, I guess we are coming to the end. There are just a few more little things that I want to mention. Like I said, Ubisoft Quebec took the lead for Syndicate for their first major Assassin's Creed title. After Unity's messy launch, expectations were low, but Syndicate delivered. Polished mechanics, focused story, fewer bugs, with no multiplayer distractions. Unfortunately, sales still dipped. Critics praised the game, but it came too late for many burned by Unity. So as I was diving more into this, it was really, really interesting. So Syndicate actually was nominated for Game of the Year in 2015. Yep.
That's crazy.
Do either of you remember who won in 2015?
No. Pretty sure that would have been Dragon Age Inquisition.
No.
I think that was the year before.
Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Syndicate lost out to Witcher 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you think, like, you know, Syndicate was put up beside The Witcher 3 as
crazy
game of the year. And so it also was nominated and won a whole bunch of different awards. So it was loved. The majority of news outlets gave it 8s and 9s out of 10. PC Gamer gave it a 66 out of 100. But, I mean, you don't play Assassin's Creed on a PC. So Who mouse and keyboards Assassin's Creed? What are you?
Yeah,
God.
Russell. Russell's in the
Come on.
Russell's like,
so So And like I get, unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know how you want to take this, but Syndicate in many ways is the last hurrah of the classic Assassin's Creed, which is sad. But personally, mate, the RPG stuff, I am here for it.
Yeah.
This is where Assassin's Creed like really took off for me.
Yeah.
I guess just the only question here, was it a mistake for Ubisoft to release Assassin's Creed Syndicate so soon after Unity? Because remember, we're still a year apart. We're still a year. So every single year we get an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Because we didn't get Origins until 2017, is that right? Or 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to tell you 2018.
Um,
I don't think it would have mattered. I think that the eventual shift to the RPG mechanics had to happen.
Yeah.
It just, I think they, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think they went as far as they could go with the direction that they had at the time. And they just, sometimes things you just run out of luck.
That's right. We're at the 9th. This is the 9th game, and we're essentially all we're doing now is just refining things. Like, really, there's nothing new.
Yep.
And that's we got carts.
That's what I said at the beginning. It's what I said on the Unity episode. It wasn't that I wasn't excited for the game. It wasn't that I wasn't going to play the game. It was just that there was nothing really new or fresh being added to the franchise. And I think I was starting to feel a little bit exhausted from the franchise, and it's a franchise that I love. This was the first time I was feeling like, we could have really used a break. I don't know if it would have helped anything as far as, honestly, I think it would. I think it would have helped. I think it would have helped sales. I think it would have maybe let the people get hungry a little bit. Ubisoft even said way back then, they were like, we're going to stop annualizing it when the sales stop showing up. And that's exactly what they did.
Exactly what happened.
And it's like, it's just a shame because something I've really been wanting to do as podcast content is have a conversation about when is the industry going to fucking learn the right lessons? It's just crazy to me, because yes, they went in a direction that really worked for them, but it wasn't that, Syndicate was bad. I mean, you guys were getting awards. You guys were almost Game of the Year. And then because it didn't fully sell all that well, it's like, okay, well, we're going to revamp everything. I don't know if that was necessary, but, I'm not going to argue that it was the wrong one because, hey, Origins and especially Odyssey brought in so many new people, and it sounds like including you, Fraser. It's like it brought in so many new friends for me. I had a very niche group of people who liked Assassin's Creed, but when Odyssey and Origins came around, I was talking to coworkers about Assassin's Creed. So I think it was the right choice. I just, as a longtime fan, I am bummed that it is a bittersweet thing. I think it went out on a good note, but I do miss it, and I like that that's what they're trying to go for with Mirage. So I'm glad that they're trying to show us that they haven't forgotten, and they are trying to somewhat fill that hunger that's kind of left for us. Because again, going back to Unity after playing Shadows, it's you realizing how much you missed some of the things that made this franchise the thing that it is. And I think that's saying a lot considering Shadows is my favorite. And yet here I am just being like, man, I still kind of miss the classic Assassin's Creed though.
Yeah. Yep. I wonder if that's going to be the same when we start talking about Resident Evil.
Oh, that's a good point.
Are we gonna miss Resident Evil 1? Are we gonna miss those tank controls and the fucking? I've got PTSD just thinking about Resident Evil. I can't wait. I can't
I
wait.
can't
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's carry on. So just I got a few more things. So the modern day in Syndicate is very minimal. It's only cutscenes. Sean and Rebecca return, but you don't play as anyone. The plot introduces the Instruments of the First Will, an offshoot cult obsessed with the pieces of Eden. Now, from what I think, because this is the last time we ever hear of this cult, they introduced it at the end of Syndicate, and then it's never, ever spoken of ever again. And so I'm thinking that it's possibly they're referring to that cult from Origins. You know how in Origins we fight that cult? I think it might be something to do with that. So it teases a bigger conflict, but it goes unresolved. Now, I think I already know the answer to this. Do we miss the interactive modern day sequences from the earlier Assassin's Creed games?
I'll let Buck answer for the both of us.
No.
Beautifully put.
No. No. And then I guess the next one, like, how do we feel about the first Will cult being introduced and then just forgotten? Like, I guess I can just answer this one again as like, I feel like they didn't know where they were going. So they were kind of like, let's just introduce this cult and then we'll see where it goes. Because I think they knew that they were going to go back. I think they already had Egypt or somewhere around that time chosen. And I think there wasn't going to be Templars and Assassins. I think they had already decided that they were kind of trying to bring that in here, but they didn't do a very good job of it. And everyone just got a little bit confused. And what is this? What is this first will? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
So, again, I already know the answer. Is the modern day storyline in Assassin's Creed even necessary anymore?
Nah.
No. We know that it's the Animus. We know that we're playing through people's memories. I suppose they do still kind of need it, because otherwise, what's the point in Assassin's Creed? If we're just going back and a Templars fighting assassins for pieces of Eden, because I guess that's what the modern day story is, right? We're trying to find these pieces of Eden to either stop or help the Templars or assassins, but nothing else is ever said about it. It just is what it is. There was, sorry.
No, you go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
I was going to say, there was an extremely interesting piece towards the end of Syndicate, which made me kind of think. So, in Syndicate, we go to World War I. Now, I've been thinking in my brain of brains, how modern can we go before it becomes like the whole Assassin's Creed thing is irrelevant? Yeah. Because we could do modern day spy espionage thrillery things and taking the whole spy thing of assassins and that, but we got guns and sniper rifles and bombs and it's just Hitman essentially.
Yep.
So I think that this World War One is possibly the most modern we could ever go, because we still have cavalry, we still have swords, we do have guns, there are tanks, but it's still very new and nobody really knows kind of what they're doing. So I think like talking about that modern thing, like that's probably as modern as we could go. Do either of you have any thoughts or ideas about a modern day Assassin's Creed? Could it work? Could we make
funny
that work?
that you bring that up, because I was just, as we were talking, I was thinking like what's the furthest I would want to see Assassin's Creed game, and honestly, I'm thinking think you might be right, but I was even thinking like taking it to like the 1920s and like doing you know like the Great Depression
Yep.
type of things
Yeah.
and seeing if they could work there. But
Yes.
like even there, it gets a little tricky, and I don't like. While I would love to see something based in like the 50s and 60s, I don't think it would work just for the reasons
No.
that you stated.
Well, it's the guns. The
Yeah,
guns are what makes it impossible
Yep.
because
yeah,
it's all about the hand to hand combat.
Mhm.
And what, like, you could be a thing of like, oh, we don't use guns in the Creed. Why?
yeah,
Like, oh no, we do it. You know, the enemy have got guns, but we're not going to because we're better. Like, no, that's silly. Like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
even Batman has a gun, so like, what
yeah,
can you know?
yeah.
It's one of those things like
Well,
I don't see any way around it.
no, no. And I think like the one shot muskets or the 6-shot revolvers that they use in London, it's I think that's the most. I think that's the most we can do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Nathan? I feel like you're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Yeah,
No, because I've never taken these thoughts that far into the future. I've never even considered the 1900s. And now that you're talking about like the Great Depression area, I'm like, okay, that's a great idea. And then you were like, yeah, but it's about the guns and it's about the hand to hand combat. And that got me thinking about like, what if it was just within civilization, right? We're not talking about like war zones here. We're talking about America 1950, America 1960. Yes, you got cops with guns. What if you went for more of a
And
fight?
gangsters with
Yes, Fight Club. Like that type of vibe. Like you're going more for almost essentially Assassin's Creed's version of Blood Dragon. You know what I mean? Like, let's not make it a whole game, but it's just its own small little
yeah,
thing. It's like Fight Club
yeah,
mixed with like,
yeah,
yeah. So that's
that,
where my mind was going.
yeah. Because like I guess like eventually the whole Templars versus Assassins fight would stop physically,
Mm-hmm.
and it would carry on like intellectually,
Mm-hmm.
and so you would stop physically killing each other, and you would like kill each other in politics,
Yes.
or you would, like you would ruin people's careers.
Mm-hmm.
You would sabotage stuff. You would do like the whole spy thing, but you lose the combat,
Mm-hmm.
which is also what Assassin's Creed is.
I'm like already kind of picturing like, okay, you're in some dude's house, you're like wiping his computer, you get caught, and then all these guns start shooting at you, so you run out the back door, and then you start jumping on top of buildings to get away from it all.
Yep.
It's like I can
Yep.
somewhat picture some of this stuff, but again, I think at the end of the day, the bottom line is you guys are right. Like, you, even when we were playing Syndicate, it was feeling like this is as far as we go. Like, I don't know how you go any further. I had one friend who felt they went too far in Assassin's Creed 3. He's like, just the simple introduction of pistols, too much. Nope, it's not Assassin's Creed. So the franchise for my buddy, it's been dead since 3.
Yeah.
And so
Interesting.
yeah, I would say it would be very hard to go past Syndicate, but I think it can be done. I don't see why
Yep.
the next Assassin's Creed has to be this AAA huge giant thing. Let's do the Mirage thing. Like, hell, let's even make
Yep.
a Liberty thing where it's a 3-hour
Yep.
experience, and make it a unique thing to where it's like, give us a reason to see the creativity of, just because Hitman is what we know, what outside of Hitman can we explore? Like, what if we played Hitman
Yep.
but we didn't have the guns, right? Or things of that nature.
Yep. Yep.
That's not your wheelhouse, but show us how you would do it. Let's see Assassin's Creed's take on it. But
They could almost do like Assassin's Creed stories or something,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
kind of like how they started to do with was it the Bourne Identity?
Yeah.
And they did that Treadstone thing, and they followed each of the different assassins. Like, you can follow a guy's mission, like one mission. You've been given a mission to go and wipe this hard drive. All right, let's go. Let's go and wipe it.
Yep.
You can almost
there's no
you can almost like turn that into a like a Metal Gear Solid 3 type of thing, where like even though there's a lot of action in that game, the real star of that game is the story. You know, like the story just really grabs you, and I know somebody's probably gonna be pissed and clip me or whatever. I don't care. But like, I think that is something that can be very interesting in an Assassin's Creed universe, where it really just takes maybe even like go the Mafia route, where a story game. I mean, pick a time period or whatever, and just like really dig into the story.
Yep.
Maybe some people would be a little tight about that, but I think that would be really cool. You know?
I agree. Yeah, because I love what they've done with Mafia. It's so good. Like that linear story driven. You know what? You're right. A linear story driven Assassin's Creed would be cool.
Yeah. You know what?
You can still have the parkour. You can still have the combat. You can still have the things. I think, and then they can start returning to some of the places they've been, because I do also think that we are very quickly starting to run out. And we can go back to London. We can go and see what Evie and Jacob have been up to. I don't need a sprawling open world. I just need some cool missions where I go and do some cool stuff in an open world, maybe. But you kind of like they've done with Mafia. Like, you don't go. It's there. You use the world to tell the story, not to fill it with nonsense. Like Mafia, there's no side missions. There's no anything. It's just the story.
So whenever we're done with this series, right, and we've covered all the games, can we implement this as a part of the final conversation of how exactly you go? Because I feel like we could go pretty deep with this and really try to like come up with how do you go about navigating the current world with the old world. And I honestly I feel like finding some kind of a hybrid. Like, I think we could have a bigger conversation, but just bullet point factor being, why can't it be a hybrid? Why can't it be that you are a modern day assassin, you've got to use the Animus to go back? I know they're working on Assassin's Creed Infinity, where it's going to be like live service where you go into it and you're able to access all the different games. Why can't Assassin's Creed Infinity be the hub? It is a game in and of itself. Every once in a while we get a ding, hey, you got missions waiting for you, you got a free update waiting for you. Go in, you do the whole entire hack the computer in the house, go, poison a politician's drink, this, that, or the other thing, right? I feel like we could I've thought about this like ever since I've been playing these games, but this is the first time I'm like, I feel like we're onto something here. I think we could actually come up with a solid idea.
Done it?
I think we figured it out.
Have we saved Assassin's Creed?
We saved
Drop the banner. We did it.
We did it.
We're gonna make Assassin's Creed great again.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Amazing. So we are starting to run a little bit long. So I'm just going to whip through these last final bits and then we'll call it. So the DLC, the Jack the Ripper DLC, we talked about it a little bit before. Amazing idea to bring that into Assassin's Creed. So set in 1888, so 20 years after the main game, this DLC plunges you into an infamous Whitechapel murders. You control two characters, Evie Fry, who returns from India to save her brother Jacob and to stop the Ripper, and you also play as Jack the Ripper, a fictionalized, deranged version of Jack the Ripper. Now, I thought this was cool because you see, so it's set 20 years after Syndicate. Evie has gone on to become an absolute fucking badass. Like, she has gone to India and trained with Indian assassins to harness fear, almost like Batman, but just way cooler. And so she uses fear to control the battlefield now. And so the core mechanics are you continue to use your rope launcher and the carriages, but you've now got a non-lethal intimidation technique, which allows you to terrify enemies without killing them. And so you can, the way they've done it is essentially it's like a smoke bomb, and it causes hallucinations. There are also brutal executions where you absolutely demoralize somebody in front of their friends and they get scared and run away. So they've actually gone the opposite with combat in the DLC, and the idea is to not get into combat. Is to use fear and tactics because Evie's not a fist fighting brawler. She needs to figure out how to get through life with fear. So I love this. I'm so excited for Hex, and I hope they use some of this fear stuff in Hex. We're starting to really blur some lines here. So
well,
it's okay.
Hey, I mean, they've kind of already done it with Shadows and like the whole entire brutal assassinations and stuff. But yeah, if you get into what happened with all that stuff with Jack the Ripper, it was pretty freaking graphic. Very graphic.
Some of the brutal takedowns is you actually leave the person alive hallucinating. So you've got this kind of like a fork thing, and you stab their arm onto a wall, and then I'm the Batman. And they start screaming, and all of their friends are like, holy shit, let's get out of here, and gap it. And then you just stroll in.
The devs were big fans of Arkham City, weren't they?
I think so. They were. Oh, yeah. And so the other thing they did was introduce the whole detective side of things. So Evie really becomes like she starts helping Scotland Yard. She starts to get into some of the, pulling apart crime scenes and solving cases, which is awesome as well. So that's it, guys. That is the Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I guess my final question is, how does Syndicate hold up in 2025? Personally, I think it holds up really well, especially with this massive update that it's just gotten. 60 FPS now. The perfect time to play it. Yeah, if you're a fan of like the old school Assassin's Creed and you haven't played Syndicate, it's probably one of the better ones out of all of them. But that's just my opinions.
Yeah, honestly, but they're valid. I mean, honestly, yeah, it because of that update and because of the current, like the state it was in when they dropped it, I mean, the game holds up incredibly well, and it's 10 years old. I mean, Unity, which was known for being not a great game on release, held up well. So, Syndicate, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm all for it. So yeah, if you're on the feds, I reckon do it. I reckon all of these old Assassin's Creed games have been a load of fun. But like I said at the start, I think Syndicate would be in my top 3.
Wow. I really, really want to go back and revisit it now.
I need to download and play it.
I've got it downloaded. It's ready. It's ready.
Just haven't played it.
Now, before we go, what are we taking from Syndicate to put into our perfect game?
It's got to be the fear.
Okay. Fear.
I love a lot of stuff from the DLC. Really, I like the the detective stuff.
Yeah.
Like having to go to a crime scene, or not even a crime scene, but just actually figuring something out. I think is pretty cool. I don't want horse and cart.
Yep.
And if we do, they have to be like fully destructible.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
if I get on a horse and cart and I ram it into another horse and cart, I
should
have
blow
to
up.
get off.
Yes.
It should. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My horse's legs are going to be broken and they cannot run.
Yeah.
If I threw anything into the ring here, it's definitely the dual protagonist, but I feel like we've already covered that. But yes, it's definitely the dual protagonist, and it is bring me more unique weapons. I loved what they did with the cane sword. Like, bring me more
and the knuckle
hidden
dusters.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's like the heart of Assassin's Creed right there, is the hidden blade. And, let's see that translate through time and how they go about, adding different cool new ways of assassination. So, not just a hook for, swinging on ropes, sliding down ropes. Yeah. Like
carrying shopping.
Yeah. Give me the cane sword. So, yeah, that's definitely what I would do.
All right. Buck, anything from you, mate?
I kind of want to say the rope launcher, but I don't even know how it would work. It just depends on if we can make it work in our system.
Yeah.
Yes.
In our time period, if it will work.
Yeah. I like the introduction that they did of like the hoists. So you don't have the rope launcher, but these newer ones you can run. You're like, oh, there's a hoist, and you stand on the thing and you hit the thing and it flings you up to the rooftops. I'm a fan of those. The rope, like you said, the rope launcher is great. Does it fit? I don't know.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think the last thing for me as well is like a less flashy costumes.
Yeah.
Like I love all the super flashy out of this crazy world stuff, but at the same time I want to just kind of slot right in.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree with that. The changing costumes, kind of like Hitman, and trying to blend in better. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Do love the whole taking off the top hat, pulling the hood up, and getting in a fight, losing the top hat. Like, such a great touch to the game. And bring that back.
Yeah, really, really cool. That's it, guys. That is it for Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this, dude. Like, another amazing episode.
My pleasure. I'm like, so I think my favorite time period in history is ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
So this next one, this next one's going to be a real hoot.
Oh,
it's going to be a real hoot.
Very
because
excited.
There's so much new stuff.
Oh yeah. I think we got a lot to cover in this one.
Yeah.
That one's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
Probably won't go into so much detail because there is going to be so much.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely hit where we have to.
Yep. Absolutely.
100%. Because then think about Odyssey after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now see, that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Oh,
that's my second
amazing.
favorite.
Oh, there you go.
Two, ooh, yeah.
Getting into some
I can't
good stuff
I can't
here.
wait to talk about them. Amazing. All right, my friends. Well, before we do shoot off, Jonathan, where can we find you, my friend? What's going on?
You can find me on the site formerly known as Twitter at Jonathan B3. Also on Blue Sky, same thing, Jonathan B3. I am most likely you'll find me in the Gamer Social Discord, just causing a ruckus.
Yes.
when I can, but stop by, talk with us about video games, and have a great time.
Amazing. Love it. And Nathan?
You know you can find
Where
me,
can we find
One
you?
Hot Dragon everywhere. All gaming platforms, all social platforms, and primarily I'm hanging out in the Discord. I'm not out there on social media too much, so find me in the Discord. That's where I
Find me in the Discord. yeah. We will definitely link the Discord below.
Yes.
Please come
Yes.
and join us. We're just a bunch of nerds just hanging out talking games.
Absolutely.
No negativity, just fun.
Absolutely.
We're just lovely group of people. Also, you can find me at F-Bomb Gaming everywhere. That's F-Bomb with an E, so FBOMBE Gaming.
Tell them what it stands for, Fraser. Tell them what it stands for.
dropping the F-bomb.
Sure.
It's a very lovely term that we use here in Australia. The word can be used to describe anything and everything. You can be having a really good time. You can be having a really bad time. You can be saying something really nice to somebody with it, or you can be being really mean to somebody with it. It's all about how you use it.
Exactly.
So when someone says, fuck you, you fucking fuck, who knows? Who knows how I feel about you? Right? Do I have a smile on my face?
Who knows?
Is that smile genuine?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. So yeah,
Call
that's
Sherlock
me.
Holmes up
F-bomb.
on it.
Yeah, that's right. But no, thank you all so much for coming to hang out with us today. Oh, Elton's just come in to say hi.
Hi, Elton.
Yeah. Make
Hey,
sure
Elton.
that you swing by next week because I don't. Oh, he's gone again. See you,
There
bud.
Yeah.
What are we doing next week, Nathan? Have you decided?
No, I haven't decided yet. So we'll have to talk about that. Figure it out. But yeah, keep your eye out for gamersocialclub.ca, and we post the weekly news roundups, or like as far as like the podcast roundup, and I will make sure to link what we will be talking about at the bottom of the article. So
amazing. And then make sure you come back in 2 weeks for our Assassin's
time.
Creed Origins.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cannot wait. And also, man, we're just throwing all the things down here. On Monday, the 25th, I will be popping the vote for next month's Game of the Month. So make sure you swing by the Discord, throw your vote in, and we're going to play some weird games. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Amazing.
Peace out,
all right,
everybody.
guys. Well, it's been fun, and I'll talk to you all soon.
Talk to you
All right. See you.
Bye.